Thank you for setting that up. Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Heidi. This workshop might be a little different from the other ones that you've seen, and I apologize for that in advance, but I'm pretty new to teaching myself and definitely new to ResBaz. So this is just going to be a cool experience for all of us. If you have anything to say at any time, please just shout out or put in the chat and Bradley can help me see that. I think it's going to be a little hard once I share my screen, but okay, so I'm going to start with some slides and then we can either decide that that's not working out and I can share our studio with you guys. But what's going to happen is it's going to look a little bit different for all of us here because I have a GitHub account, I have repositories, and I have a Netlify account. So if you're just starting, yours is going to look a little bit different from mine. And I want to show you the steps and let you do it yourself and rather than walking you through it, but we can see what works for everybody. So what we're going to do today is create personal websites or lab websites or whatever website you want to create using a blog down package in RStudio. And this is just my information. I put my social medias up here. Just if you ever want to reach out to me for anything, any question, I'm happy to help you troubleshoot through anything you're working through. Obviously, I'm not an expert at this, but I want to help so that we can all be on the same page and you can reach me any way you want to. So again, I'm Heidi. I'm a PhD student. I enjoy plants and biking, and I am not an expert. So if you have any questions at all, don't feel afraid to ask at all at any point. Does anybody want to introduce themselves? Bradley, Austin, Jungmi, I see you. Anybody want to turn on?
Yeah, hey, I'll start us off. My name is Bradley. I'm a master's student in biosystems engineering. I have a little bit of experience in R Markdown, but I'm also no expert. So I'll do my best to answer any questions and bring them up in the chat if you throw them in there. So hopefully we have some fun, and I'm excited to make my own website today. So.
Oh, hi, I'm Jungmi. I am a sociologist by training, and I'm a student again, doing an MLIS at U of A. I'm very interested in user experience, research, and learning more things about art.
I'm Austin. I'm a PhD student in the School of Natural Resources here at the U of A, University of Arizona, and I guess a plant ecologist by trade, but tried to also get into this data science realm and excited about creating a website myself.
Okay, that's okay. You don't have to introduce yourself if you don't want to. We don't have to. I'm not going to pull your teeth. But anyways, if you want to, you can put your information in the HackMD, and then anybody can reach you throughout later on, and we can see each other's websites later if we create them. And that might be kind of cool way to explore the different things that we all use our creativity to be data scientists. So go ahead and put your information in the HackMD if you want to. I'm gonna put that in the chat again, just in case, or Bradley, could you throw that HackMD in the chat again for me? So just in case anybody new can't see that, I guess I don't know how that works. Okay, so let's jump right in. If everybody's ready to get started, I'm not starting from the ground level here because I'm hoping that we went to intro to R and intro to GitHub and got a couple of things working. So I guess just a note, yeah, these will be pretty easy to follow steps if you have your Git and R working together already. So if I can maybe get a show of hands of people, does everybody feel like their Git and R are working together already? Or do we need to take it back a step or maybe get one of the helpers in a private room I'm going to start with this. Yeah, okay, good. Some thumbs up here. We're good to go. Okay, so all we're going to do is pop into our GitHub and create a new repository. So flip on over to your GitHub account. Yeah, I'm going to show you mine. This is what mine looks like. We can just make a new repository. It's up in the upper right-hand corner, the little plus sign, new repository. I have my named website. You can name it whatever you want, just something that's going to be easy for you to remember, and then put a short description in there. You won't need a README or a git ignore just yet. So leave those boxes blank and just create that new repository there. Okay. When we're done with that, we're going to pop on over into an RStudio window, any RStudio window, because we're going to make a new project and those open up in a new window anyways. Just go anywhere and go in your upper left-hand corner, file, new project. And then we're going to use a version control project, because what we're going to do is just clone that repository that we just made into a new project right here. I'm going to open up my chat for a second, but thank you guys for introducing yourselves in the chat. I'm sorry I didn't see that before. Okay, cool. Just wait a second here, but this should all be pretty straightforward for anybody who's done this before. Okay. So are we all on a new project on our website that's going to be version controlled to a Git account? Oops, step 3. Okay. Okay, so if you're already here, you can start typing these things in, or I have them in the HackMD if you'd rather copy and paste. That's totally fine. It should be every chunk of R code that you need is in the HackMD that you can just copy and paste it over to your window. You can actually do all these in the console. You don't have to make a new script or anything. Just write in your console. You'll only have to do this once. As you can see, I've written out here, once per machine, you need to install the blogdown package. That makes sense to us. And then call the blogdown library. And then this new site is something that if you're only going to make one website, you're probably only going to use this once, but you'll call new site and then the theme that you want. I'm going to recommend that we all use the academic theme today, but in the second half of this workshop, you'll have all kinds of free time to just play around with stuff, and I'll sit here with you. And if you want to try a different theme at that time, that's awesome. I also linked the Hugo themes in the HackMD. It's all the way at the bottom under the questions, the Q&A. I just asked if there were other themes, and you can scroll through and test them at your own leisure, but they're a little intimidating. Obviously, code has bugs sometimes, themes can have bugs. So the academic theme is really well documented, so it's easy to get through. Okay, does this look good for everybody? New site popped up. You can press yes to serve a new site. Brandon, did you have something? Any issues? Okay, so at this time, if you didn't serve your site, you want to use the serve site add-in at the top. Otherwise, when you use this new site function, it should ask you yes or no if you want to serve your site, and you want to do that, and so that you can see the academic theme pop up in your viewer. Does that look cool to everybody? Okay. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is pay attention to Hugo. Hugo is the static site generator that we're using to actually host the site. So we want to know what version of Hugo we have, and we want our version of Hugo to be greater than whatever theme we're choosing. Academic is version 0.55. So make sure that your Hugo version is more than that. If you've just installed Hugo for this workshop, your Hugo theme is, or version is 83.1, I think. and that's perfect. And that's the example that I've used in the rest of the code because I had just updated mine also. Okay, and if you are installing Hugo right now, just make sure you restart your R window. I've had a couple of problems with that when I didn't restart before moving on. How's it going? Bradley, Austin, you guys good?
Yeah, could you repeat the version part again?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have Hugo is a static site generator, and I'm not entirely sure what that means, but what we're doing is using Blogdown to call a Hugo theme and then host it with GitHub continuously. And so we want the version of Hugo to be greater than the theme that we chose. So here, let me actually pull that up so that makes a little bit more sense. But okay, so down at the bottom of the HackMD, I put here where you can find these Hugo themes. And these are all the different themes that you can use. There's so many of them. You can go through and just find which one you like. But this academic theme is used very often. This is actually changed. So I was wrong about this, but the minimum version for Hugo is 0.81. So we need to make sure that our Hugo version is at 0.81 or greater. But to be honest, the G Cushion one, George Cushion's works at 0.55. So not entirely sure that this stuff is necessary, but let's update our Hugo just to make sure. So you can either use Hugo_update, which I haven't found to work super well, but installing Hugo force equals true does work to just make sure that you have the most up-to-date version. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Is yours 0.83 or 0.83.1? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. That all looks good for me then. Let's keep going. Yeah, so the next thing that we're going to do is pop on over to Netlify and sign up to Netlify if you haven't done this yet. It's in the startup instructions on the HackMD, but you should be able to just log in with your GitHub account and bam, bam, boom, give your GitHub access to Netlify or the user permissions to Netlify, and then we should be all set up there. Okay, and then back in the R window, we have to create a file that lets our GitHub content talk to Netlify. They don't automatically know how to communicate with each other, so we're going to create this netlify.toml document using this file.create function. And when you have it, you can go into your files and open it up in netlify.toml. It's the file section in your bottom right-hand corner. Open that up and then just copy and paste here. As long as your Hugo version is what Austin and I were just discussing, this 83.1, then you're good to go to just copy and paste this into your netlify.toml, which should be empty. If your Hugo version is different for some reason, I'm fairly certain that you need to put your Hugo version into these numbers, not 83.1. Okay, that's a little better. Okay. Everybody was able to find this and log into Netlify. Everything looks good here.
Hey, my apologies. I came in late, so this is all on me, but I am like several steps behind. So
okay, no worries, no worries. I can actually move back for you. I think this is going pretty quickly anyways. So all that we've done so far is make a new repository on GitHub that we're going to host our website on. I was telling everybody I call mine website just to be basic, but you can call it anything you want. Cat page, meow, anything that makes you happy. And then we've gone into RStudio and made a version control project so that we could just clone that repository that we just made onto the RStudio project. And then if you haven't already, install Blogdown and call the package. And Jessica, all of these code chunks are on the HackMD for this session. So you can copy and paste anything that you want to right into your R console. And then the most important one here being this new site call. You want to copy and paste this and call the Hugo academic theme to what this is going to do is create a bunch of new files in your project that host an example website. And from there, we'll just kind of find things and change them as we want to, but we'll already have hosted a new website. And then this step's a little confusing, but you want to make sure that your version of Hugo.
Sorry, could you go back one step?
Yeah, for sure.
So I got it installed, library. Well, let me just check again since I once per project, copy that in there. That's just like telling it, and that's in the console, you said is fine?
Yeah, in the console is fine, because if you're only going to make one website, this is the only time you're ever going to use this call, because all it's doing is taking everything from this G Cushion Hugo Academic GitHub repository and putting it into your folders so that you have the website files already made.
Okay, excellent. Yes, sorry. And then
So the only reason this says this is because like library Blogdown, every time you open up an R window, you have to call that. That was kind of my reasoning there. So sorry.
No, I follow the reasoning for why I just that is new to me. That's part of Blogdown, I guess. This function, new site. So that part's new to me.
It we'll also use new post in a second. So yeah, these are new functions.
Okay, but this one, I don't need to save it anywhere. Like I don't need to start a
You
script.
don't. Nope, we don't need a script at all. Just in your console is totally fine.
Okay, thank you.
I see some things in the chat. Is there anything I need to address? Can you show us on your RStudio? Yeah, absolutely. This section right here, I can open up and show you right now. I have just done this a second ago, so I can just press my up arrow. Oh, you can't see this, can you? Sorry. Here's my RStudio window. I already have some files open here, so let me just close out of them so that we are not stressed. How do we clear the console so we're not stressed? Great. So what the last thing we did was call library Blogdown and then new site. So library Blogdown, we want to just make sure that we're calling that in our console. And then this new site, the last one I called was, I was trying a different theme to see if this was going to work later on. So I'm going to copy this. G Cushion Hugo Academic. And then just run that. Oh, and this shouldn't be like this, but I've already created this in this folder, so it's not empty and it's going to be mad at me. So I'm not going to do that right now, but that should be all you need to do at this step. And then it's going to say serve site YN, and you can say yes to serve the site. We have another issue here in the chat, I see. Jungmi, did that help you at all, or are you also stuck?
Yeah, I don't think I said yes to that.
Oh, okay.
Or no, or I guess I need to say
serving
yes,
the site. That's totally fine. If you can see my mouse still at this add-in at the top, you can just come down here and press serve site. And then if that works for you, it should pop up a example website in your viewer pane in the bottom right. Let me exit out of this quickly. Okay.
So this is a very simple question, and I must have missed the step. So are we using a .r like a script file, or is a Blogdown? Okay.
Actually, neither yet. Everything we've
Oh,
done
okay.
is just put it right in the console. We don't need to save any of these steps yet because we're just
Oh,
doing
okay.
them one time.
Got it. Okay.
But if it's in a script, that's fine too. I mean, I have mine in slides, so it's in a markdown file. It just, the markdown file gets a little confused if you want to run the blog down packages inside of it. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my share. Are we all feeling okay about at least up to step 3, have a new site and it's serving, meaning that you can see it in the viewer pane? Oops. Yeah, okay. And moving on to step 4, again, just to check your Hugo version and make sure that the Hugo version that you're running is, well, I mean, hopefully you have the 83.1 at this point, and maybe you can update or install there. I don't know how to restart at this point. Git has at least partially cloned, but there isn't an R project file in there. Git, what do you mean? What in the chat? I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean that Git has at least partially cloned, but your new folder, you're not seeing an R project file at all. Because if it got stuck cloning. Oh no. Okay, I'm really sorry that happened, but when we take a break here or go into the more workshop mode, I'll pop into another room with you and see if we can help out. If Bradley can't get this working now. Thanks for trying to help with that, Bradley. Okay, it's everybody up to Netlify site. Okay, so I'm sorry, I skipped a step, but you can sign up to Netlify using your GitHub account. And then pop back on over to RStudio. That step is a little out of order, I suppose, but you can do that at any time. You just want to link your GitHub account to Netlify so that it's just easier to make sure that they're talking to each other. And then back in your RStudio for your website, again, in your console, you'll want to use this file.create function and create a netlify.toml document. And yeah, that can be done in your console. We only need to do this one time per website that we use, so we don't really need a script for this. And then what we'll do is copy and paste this entire chunk. And these chunks are in the HackMD if anybody wants to copy and paste them, but I'll stay here for a second if you want to type some of this. To be quite frank, this is gibberish for me. I know that this is a step because it's in multiple tutorials, but I can't really tell you what's going on in this TOML file. So I'm just copying and pasting and trusting the tutorial that I read. And these steps have worked for me reproducibly in the past. So I'm hoping that they're going to work for at least the large majority of us today.
Heidi, could I ask another couple of questions, which is, I don't know what Hugo,
Yeah.
Netlify, or a .toml file are. Could you give a very brief
Yeah, absolutely.
landscape? What are those words?
Hugo is a static site generator is what it's called. And I keep repeating that because that's just all that I've gathered from it myself. Hugo is the themes that we are using. So you can go to hugo.themes.io, which is also linked in the HackMD, and look for any kind of Hugo theme that you want. And you can then it's hosted by a GitHub repository, and then you basically just take that Hugo repository or Hugo GitHub repository and you clone all those files. And so your GitHub is then hosting this static site Hugo. And then the Netlify is taking the GitHub files and continuously putting them into production. So it's hosting a continuous website instead of I guess I don't know, like a static website, you could just like post your CV online or something, and that would be more static. But this, every time you push a file to your GitHub, Netlify automatically produces a new website for you so that it includes all the changes that you just made. .toml, yeah, as I was just saying, I don't think I can really answer that question. I'm trusting the tutorial that I read here, Jessica, and I just am copying and pasting this. It's all that I'm understanding is it's the file that's helping GitHub talk to Netlify. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're ready. Let's keep our fingers crossed and try to commit and push this all to the GitHub repository that we just made. So if that's new to you, you can use the little Git add-in at the top of your RStudio window and pull it down until you hit commit. And then that should open up a new window for you. Mine's a full screen window, and you want to select absolutely everything. You can do that using Command A if you're on a Mac, and then space bar, or you can click all the boxes in that commit window, one of the two. I can show you that, I think. And so you'll always commit first and then push, commit and then push. So commit all of your files and then press the commit button, and then it'll close out and you press close, and then you can say push and push everything. And I think it says something like headmaster when it's over, something like that. And then we'll know that we're good to go. And then we'll check our GitHub and make sure all is well, but that should be right. So I'm going to open up my website project. Sorry, guys. I know it's annoying that if I keep coming in and out. Git commit. And I have some changes here. So everything in the staged, I clicked. Oh, I forgot a step. You have to put a message in the commit bar. So a commit message, I'm just going to say that I updated the base URL. Usually when I do this for the first time, I just say first or initial, something like that. And then I press commit. Then it tells you everything that it's done here, and you press close, and then you can press push. And yeah, head to master and then close. And then you can close out that window. Yours should take just a second longer than mine because I was just committing one thing and you were committing many things. But other than that, that's the process there. Okay. Okay, everybody looks good and got that worked out okay?
Hi, Heidi. I wanted to double check. I was Googling some stuff about Git and I missed what. So do we commit everything, including the R profile and the git ignore? And so all the files that it created, we need to commit all of those and
Yeah,
push.
yeah, absolutely. All of them that's my understanding. Yep.
Okay.
That's what's worked for me in the past. And then we're going to add more things to our git ignore file so that Git ignores what it's not supposed to or to be seeing, but you can commit that. Do you normally not?
No, I haven't done this before. So I just, yeah.
I'm not super familiar with git ignore files either. So for me, I'm not sure if you normally push them or not. Does anybody have an answer to that?
And I know I have in the past, like the R profile and all of that, and the R project file, I often will ignore those. But if you commit it, then you add them into the git ignore file, then it will correct itself. So you can commit it and then add things to the git ignore, and then it will remove them. So it's not a big deal either way.
It's just an extra step, right?
Right.
So that you can.
And
commit
could you
everything.
go back to the very beginning, or not the very, very beginning, but the beginning of the GitHub stuff? Could we just go over that one more time?
Just right here from committing?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me pull back open my R window here. I'm gonna make a change. Where'd my emoji go? I'm gonna make a change to my file so that I can have something to commit. Oh, I don't know if that's gonna work.
I actually have a question. Can you hear me
Sure.
okay? Yeah, I actually don't have the GitHub pull down menu at all. So for me, I only have the go to file function toolbar and then that 4 square icon. It's the GitHub thing is completely missing on my end. So I'm just wondering what am I missing? I have GitHub installed on my desktop, so not sure if there's something extra that I need.
Okay, I'm going to link you a couple of resources, Kyle, but I don't know how helpful I'm going to be. Does anybody know who taught the intro to GitHub yesterday? Okay, here's Happy Get with R, Kyle. I just linked in the chat. That one is going to be a nice tutorial about how to get your R Studio to talk to GitHub or to Git. And then also I'm gonna link one more thing because maybe that this is gonna be more helpful for you, this tutorial. This guy in this tutorial does almost the same thing that we're doing, but he seems to use some different GitHub commands. Like, is this something that you're familiar with? Use this, use Git in step 10 here, Kyle.
I see. Okay. Yeah, sorry I missed the workshop yesterday.
Oh, no worries. I missed it myself. Don't don't worry about that. It's just that maybe they went over that or that instructor can help you a little bit more. Once I had GitHub set up, I ignored it for the rest of my life. That was a traumatic event and I don't want to do it again. So yeah, we have some help in the chat here for you, Kyle, but if one of those resources is helpful for you, that's awesome. And hopefully someone can get that worked out. I'm really sorry I can't be more help than that. Okay, and then Austin, I'm going to just commit one more time so that we can see the process here. Okay, I made a change to my whatever, any file that you want, you can make a change to. Make sure you've saved it. And then from the top of your RStudio project, you can find your Git buttons and pull down to commit. Looks like there's a cheat key there too, but I don't know that one. And then everything that's in your upper left-hand corner, obviously yours is going to look a little different from mine. I'm just committing one file. You should be committing like 30, I would say, lots of them. And then press everything should be checked in the staged box. If you're on a Mac, you can do that by clicking in this box and press Command A spacebar, and that will commit everything or stage everything. And then put a message in the commit emoji and to tell yourself what you did at this change, and then press commit. And then when it's finished, the close button should pop up and you should be able to hit that and then close. And then every time you commit something, you want to push it to your GitHub, commit and then push, commit and then push. And then when it's ready, it says head to master, and then you can close that one out too, and then close this pop-up window that opened up. Okay. Does everybody feel like they pushed to GitHub? If you go over to your GitHub repository that you made, does it show that change that you just made here in the, this must not have been what I updated in the commit changes. Here's my Meow website, cap for websites, avatar. Here's emoji that I just committed to GitHub. So mine worked and went smoothly. Is everybody else feeling smooth? We're almost there. Cool. Okay. So moving on, well, we want to update. Here we go, Austin. This is updating our git ignore file. So yeah, the R project is in there and the public folder is in there. So just copy and paste this whole chunk. Some of these things are already in the git ignore file that you have, but you can either copy and paste this from the hackmd or just find, I think it's 2 of these lines you need to add to the bottom of your git ignore file. So I'm going to pop over and show you what that looks like. Okay, so in here, my git ignore file is my top file because it's a hidden one. And then I want to take everything here and just copy it and paste on top of this. And then save this and we'll commit that in just a minute.
Can you explain those 2 additional lines briefly?
I can't, but I am just following a tutorial myself. So all that I'm understanding is that this public folder is it's like a copy of everything else that's being hosted. So you don't actually need to see that one. When you serve your site, that one gets created and it just needs to be ignored. Oh, that's an important part that I forgot. That, sorry, one second, that you need to always serve your site before you commit it and send it to GitHub. So that's important. I'm sorry about that.
I was just saying we don't have a public folder right now, so I wasn't sure what we're ignoring. So that was the step. So it sounds like when we do, and I guess I don't know the term serve either, what that exactly means.
Yeah, so serving your site means to pop it up in the viewer window and it's giving you the example. But when that happens, I'm fairly certain that's when it creates the public file and then you ignore that one before we push it. Do you don't have a public folder now?
I don't.
I have one here, but I didn't just create this website, so I'm not 100% sure when it gets here, but this public folder is just the same post file that we can find in content under post. So it just is in the ignore.
Huh. I just did the add-ins serve site and it popped up in my viewer window here, but it doesn't, no additional public folder was generated.
Interesting.
But I'm gonna keep doing all the steps that you're doing.
Yeah, we're just gonna hope that that keeps
clear.
working, and it might pop up at a different time. Maybe it pops up after we've talked to Netlify. So hold on 1 second, and if we still have an issue, we can come back and try to see what the problem is. Is everything going okay in the chat? Bradley, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there.
Awesome. We are 1 step away from having a website here. Okay, let's go back to Netlify. And this step's going to look a little different for you than for me because I'm already hosting a site on Netlify, but somehow, some way you want to get to a button that says create a new site or host a new site from GitHub, something like that, and find where you can select connect to a continuous deployment from GitHub. I'm going to pop over into my Netlify if I can and show you what that looks like for me. So for me, I have my personal website here and then this website, will this break? Obviously, I'm feeling very confident. And I would just press this new site from Git here and then a continuous deployment from GitHub. And that, again, might look a little bit different for you. At this step, when you're here, GitHub needs permission to look at the repositories that you're letting it from. Netlify needs permission, sorry, not GitHub. Netlify needs permission from GitHub. So you're gonna search for your repository here in the search bar, whatever it was. Mine's already here because I've linked it, but search for the repository if you made it like website or something. And then if it's not in this list, another button will come up. Oops, sorry. Another button will come up that you can configure Netlify on GitHub, and just click that and it'll take you to GitHub to show you the place where you go to allow it repository access, which is right here. So we're just allowing Netlify to have access to any select repositories, and then we can pull from a drop down of our repositories or find website that we've just made. Don't just press enter. I did that 100 times, but you want to actually click on it and press save. And once you press save, it'll pop you back over to Netlify. And then go ahead and just deploy the site. You'll be able to go right on to step 3 here and deploy that website. Does that look clear for everyone?
I'm at a page where I've authorized on GitHub, and there's the owner, there's the branch, master to deploy, build command, Hugo, publish directory, and it just says public. Is that what we want?
Mine's public. Hold on, let me try to see. You're on GitHub.
No, now I'm on Netlify where you are.
Okay.
And I've gone to GitHub to authorize it, to authorize Netlify to look at that particular repository. My website, your testing, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna just give it permission for a new one or something, so that I can see here. Okay, and then incest. Okay, from here. And then just deploy site.
Oh, so mine had some filled in things under for that build command and publish directory.
Oh,
I had some things filled in, and I'm just wondering if that's okay. Like it just auto filled in. Should I just let that go?
can anybody else, is that true for everybody else? Did you have other things? Is this popping up because mine isn't a website that I'm hosting right now? Should I go back?
I mean, that
Jessica.
makes sense. Mine was a website, so then it automatically published, or it has Hugo and then public under publish directory.
Yeah, maybe this is when it's going to create that public file, Jessica, because it's saying that. So it could just be because this repository that I just called wasn't actually a website, that it didn't fill anything in. I think you should go ahead and deploy the site. Sounds good. Okay, will this break? Okay, so we've created a new site and we deployed it on Netlify. So you have something that looks like this, and you have a Netlify app up in the corner, and it says something like helpful rabbit 847, something like that. And then you can click on this to see a preview of whatever you've just made. Mine's a little different. Obviously, yours is going to look a little bit, well, it should look exactly like what you've seen in the viewer, which is your academic theme. Does that seem right? How do I push to GitHub? Sorry, I missed it. Okay, sorry, I missed your question. Let me go back to, here's GitHub. And if we're at commit here and we have this big window open that we put our commit message in, the push button is just here in the upper right hand corner. And you can, after you've committed something, you should be able to push it and then close. Are the Git commands written out somewhere? I don't understand this question. Just let me just write them out. You can find the slides in the HackMD. I've linked them down at the bottom in the question answer. So if you've missed anything, you can go grab the slides for sure. But the git commands is just git commit and then git push. So let's do that. Okay, is that clear now? Was everybody able to see their test website that's being hosted on Netlify? Cool. Nice. All right. Then we're almost there. The next step is to personalize, and this is a silly step because this will be the rest of your website experience, either adding content or personalizing themes and colors and fonts and pictures, obviously, and all of the content you need to change. But this is a pretty long step that we're going to tackle here in the next hour of the workshop. So if you want to pop off and head somewhere else, you're welcome to do that and to do the personalizing in your own time. Otherwise, I'm going to keep walking through personalize to personalize these websites to make it your own content. So does anybody have anything that they want to ask, or questions, comments, concerns about this that we've done so far? Otherwise, I think we can take a break and then come back and work through personalizing. How do we feel about our academic website? Well, I'm going to go back to, I feel like this about mine. Would love to hear more about personalizing. Yeah, absolutely, Jessica. If nobody needs a break or wants to go anywhere, I can pull this back up and we can work on personalizing. What this is going to look like is either you can choose to personalize the Hugo academic theme, or you can choose at this point to try those first 10 steps again with a new theme. If the academic theme was just not what you were looking for, you can do it that way. I think we should each just go through our websites as we want to, and to just pick out the sections that you think you need help with. Like if the tabs aren't right for you and you want help with that, if you just let me know and I'll show you how that works. But pretty much the whole rest of the process is finding the section in these files that needs to be changed to your content and changing it to your content. And then I'll also show you how to add new posts and add new blogs and how I add my papers and my publications into my website. But if you'll just let me take a short break and get everybody up to speed here, then we can jump on into that. Sounds good? Cool. Okay, Kyle, I hear you. I'm very much behind my Git installation myself, and I have to look materials later. Okay, so I'm really sorry about that, Kyle. I totally understand R in GitHub is a headache. It really can be, but once you have it working, it's a lifesaver. So yeah, I'm really sorry that I can't be a greater help with that, but I can try to find you an appropriate helper here on Slack in just 1 second, or when you get a chance, I'm sure the intro to GitHub recording will be helpful from yesterday. I think I can, and Jungmi, I think I can personalize the Hugo academic theme because I'm not sure I did all the steps correctly. Jungmi, did your website host, does it come up on Netlify? Does everything look right?
Yeah, it looks just like the, template.
Yeah, so it has
Right.
that weird banner at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna delete all that in a second.
Okay.
Cool. Can you explain the stuff in the GitHub window? What are the letters? Okay, hold on. This? Oh no, I definitely can't answer this question. You mean this status letter? Like, what is this? Bradley? Do you know anything about GitHub?
No, I'm trying to catch up right now too, actually. So sorry,
Okay.
everybody.
No worries.
I'm
Where are you
right there
stuck,
with you.
Bradley?
Yeah, I'm stuck in between steps 5 and 6, actually. So I'm pretty far back here.
No
But
worries. Did you
my
get a Netlify account working with GitHub?
yeah, I think I did.
Cool.
But then the code that I'm running, this code from step 5 is giving me an error. So I'm gonna keep working on trying to troubleshoot myself, and I'll send you
Okay.
a message if I can't
Which
get it.
code? The file.create here in step 6?
No,
'Cause
the one before that, the knitter include graphics.
oh, you
Yeah.
shouldn't need that. That's this
Okay.
graphic to make the slides. So you should only need the things that are like this file.create. So don't worry about step 5. There's not anything
great.
to run there.
Okay, good.
Sorry
good.
about that. Yeah, the slides are a little confusing. Does anybody else make their slides in Markdown? Because that was a kind of challenging for me. Oh, thank you so much, Andrew, in the chat. Thank you. Chungmi, I got errors for public, but it still sort of worked. I don't know what that last comment means.
Oh, I mistyped that. I meant the step 6, the build. I don't know
Oh,
why
this one,
Yeah.
you copied and pasted it into your Netlify?
No, it was in the R console.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't need to run this chunk. It should just be able to highlight it and copy and paste it into this Netlify toml file that we created.
Okay.
But if it's still working, I mean, a lot of this is troubleshooting to make sure that the theme and the R version and the Hugo version are all making sense together. So I get a lot of it. It'd be like, this is working, but I'm not sure why it's working. Okay, is everybody okay here? Anybody else stuck? Can I help? Does anybody else need assistance before we move on to the next step?
I also was trying to get everything. It was a lot to commit, so it was taking my computer a while
Okay,
to
good to
get
know.
that set up. For the Netlify stuff, like you go to the site, you tie in your GitHub account, and then you can change the domain name. So it could be like your name .netlify.app, right?
It's the next step, yeah. Yeah, so we can actually do that right now if everybody's ready. Come on into general and then site details, or site overview is where you are, but site settings is right here above your production deploys, and you should be able to see.
We're just seeing your R Studio.
Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry.
No, it's Zoom.
Thought I was
and
just sharing my desktop here, but okay. So you should see, if we just have our regular Netlify, we're on our website. It's just like says something like this, and then you can go into site settings here on the left, and that pops up a new page, and we have site information, and the site name is something silly, right? Like Curious Goat. And you don't want that to be your website URL, I understand. So change site name. I was being sassy and said, will this break? But this is whatever you want it to be. Mine is Heidi E. Steiner or .netlify.app. Yeah, it can be your name. It can be your lab. It can be your Twitter handle. Let's try it. Is that open? Is my Twitter handle open? Yes. But before you change the site name, copy it, this HTTPS Heidiverse netlify.app. Make sure you copy that because it's a little different on up here. Okay, we're going to take that new site name and add it into one of our config files so that our website knows our URL. So if we share it with somebody, they can get there, which is important. So that's the next step that I had on my slides. I'm pretty sure. Create a new site, personalize. Okay, yeah, here's where we go. Keep going. So change the site name. So did everybody find that? We're gonna open it up in the config.yaml file. If you see that one, config.yaml. So I'm gonna pull that one up right here. And base URL is, for me, line 1. Yours might be different. It might already have something in there like example, like, or just quotations. What you want is your copied netlify.app address, and you want it in quotations, and you need the HTTPS portion. And this file, we should also just like take a look at while we're here. When you're ready, you can commit that change and push that. If you just want to make sure that works and press and test around, you can commit and push at any time and make sure that your website's not broken. I often commit and push just to make sure. This file is going to look a little different for you than for me. Hold on, I'm going to open up another one that's my personal website, because it's if I can find it, it's an academic theme, and that'll be more helpful, I think, than this weird website that I was trying to create. But I was trying to see if I could use other Hugo themes with this same set of steps, and it seems like you can use the same 10 steps to use any Hugo theme that you want to. And like I said before, it's going to be a little bit like buggy if you try to use a new, oh, I see, yours is called config.toml, not YAML, my bad. And it's line 12, does that look right? Line 12 base URL, and you can add in your new netlify.app URL. Okay, and then at this point, just check out this file a little bit, because this is helpful to understand what's going on. So you have all kinds of different things going on here, but first you can start with changing the title of your website. This is where we can go to change the theme. Obviously, more things are going to change if we change the theme, so you don't want to just change this to something else, but go through those whole 10 steps of starting a new website again. But you can change the language here and add access to new things. But this is where we'll find all of the like heavy coding about how things are talking to each other in the website is in this configuration file. So we're not going to play around with a lot of this, but it's good to know where things are included in this file and in your other files. Obviously, it created a lot of new things for you here. So just opening them up and seeing what's in them is going to be really important. Some of the folders are empty and you can leave them that way. And lots of the things have example files in them that you can just change your content for, so that you don't actually have to go ahead and delete full things. You can just include your own information. Okay, so something else that might be important here. So the themes, let's look at these themes. Data. Okay, so I'm sure you guys didn't see that, but here in the files of the website, they have a folder called themes that got pre-loaded. And if we go themes, and then inside Hugo Academic, and then inside data, and then inside themes again, there are a bunch of theme names that we can use here. And these are like pre-installed Hugo academic themes. So it's like a theme within a theme. It's a meta theme. These are just changing the colors and fonts and font sizes of things that go through. So I want to make sure that I do this right, but this is in one of these files too, and we can change the theme that we're using to strawberry or something. So hold on, let me just open up where I think that is. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go look, because if you've learned anything this week at ResBaz, you've learned that a lot of what we're doing is Googling until we find what we are looking for. No, none of these. Yeah, okay. So where did we go? We're in website, and then the folder configuration, config, and then the only folder that's in there is default, and there are a couple other toml files, and parameters.toml, params.toml. If you open that one up, you can stick a theme in there, and we're gonna do strawberry was the name of one, rose was the name of one. I'm gonna go back into themes and make sure I get these right. Data, themes. Okay, strawberry with an lowercase, but I already have that one, so I'm gonna try ocean and see what happens here to my website if I add in serve my site.
Excuse me, Heidi, I think, so you have a different theme on your personal website than you're showing us, right?
Yeah, so if you can see my viewer now, yeah, it seemed like nothing actually happened there when I changed my theme to ocean, which I'm not entirely sure about. So what I did, I have theme strawberry on my academic website, so it's a little different, but you should be able to change the theme here.
I'm just saying that I don't even have the same things that you have. I think you started, did you use this? I guess I have starter-academic instead of Hugo-academic. I don't know if anyone else is this, I don't, maybe this is a
right
step I
here.
missed. Well, just, yeah, and so I don't have the file system that you were navigating through. It looks a little different. Things are, some
Okay.
things are YAML instead of TOML. Again,
Yeah,
not sure
I
what the
did
difference
notice
is.
that too. I think that maybe there was a slight update from the time that I built this website to the time that now when we're running this class. So if you'll give me a minute, I'll just run through the, oh look, it did update to ocean. That's kind of pretty. I can run through the steps and just make sure that I'm hosting the exact same website that you're hosting, if that makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I'm just saying, when I go into website/theme/ the equivalent starter academic data themes, it's empty in mine. And I don't know, that might be true for others who initiated their websites today.
Does that,
Yeah, someone, Jungmi has the
can I
same.
get some more feedback?
So I don't have the strawberry, rose, ocean, forest options in there.
That's terrible news, and we wouldn't want that. Yeah, because
Or is
these are
that-
very fun to use, so I wouldn't want that at all. Unless
Yeah.
they're elsewhere in your file system. Would you do me a favor and outside, just in your file browser, like search for the word strawberry in this website folder and see if it comes up elsewhere? Can you do that?
Yeah, I can search.
Thanks, just to see if maybe the themes are stored in a different file. Can someone, Austin, anybody else answer that? Is yours the same? Is yours starter.academic instead of mine's Hugo.academic or slash?
Yeah, I'm behind.
Oh, I'm
So
so sorry. Can
no. It's because of Git issues and not
It always is.
not the website stuff. So I had to solve that, and now I'm trying to locate these config and params files.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are having Git issues. Is that true? Okay. Does anybody get this to work and at the same point that Jessica and I are at? Okay. And any luck, Jessica, with the word strawberry? Blake, I need help. Help us.
Actually, it says when I search in my file explorer, it says that there is something called strawberry.toml. I can't, trying to figure out where.
Cool. I mean, yeah, that would be great if it were just elsewhere and maybe there was some file rearranging since the time that I've done this, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, packages get updated all the time.
Are there hidden things or something?
Yeah.
Because it shows it as being in website. So okay.
Hidden files.
No, themes, GitHub. Okay, there is a themes. Oh, github.com. Wow, Kemi. Wow, Kemi.
Yeah, how did you log in with WowChemy? Did you, okay, so when you
It just showed up. I did not, I don't even know what a wow Kemi is.
Yeah, WowChemy seemed to take over Hugo here recently. Yeah, okay. Can everybody give me just a couple of minutes? I'm going to host the same site that I just had you guys host so that we can start to navigate that together. Sorry about that.
Right.
Okay, what do I want? This is what you used, right, Jessica? The G cushion Hugo-academic.
Yes, it was
Yeah, I thought
exactly as you
so.
had it typed.
Oh, look at this. GitHub.com WowChemy Starter Academic is what it's
Oh,
grabbing, which is really interesting.
what is wow Kemi? I guess I should Google it.
Yeah, WowChemy, it seems like this process was difficult and WowChemy makes it easier is how I'm understanding it. But if they took away some of our resources, then that's not super helpful, is it?
It's still there, like the strawberry.toml is still there. It's just super nested. Like it's not at all obvious where you would go to look for it.
Yeah,
So
let's give this a try. Yeah, this does take a minute here. And then we want to do our git ignore. This. We want to see all the steps in super speed right now. Here we go, public displays. Jovial Kilby. I couldn't have even made up something that funny. They just really have these names. No, Kyle, all the boxes should check. They might just take a while to check. We want to take all of them with us. Okay, do I have a website? Cool. Yeah, we
Yeah,
need,
well, I can. I double click, I single click, I waited for like a whole minute. It's not checked. Some
I'm
of them
having-
are.
Kyle, are you on a Mac?
No, this is a Windows.
Oh, okay. Does anybody have a keyboard shortcut to selecting all in Windows? Can I mean, you're welcome to try to commit and push the files that you're able to click on. I think we need to take all of the files though, so I'm a little confused as to why that would be happening.
Yeah, when I did it, I was waiting and waiting, and so I fell behind because I was waiting because those folders are so big. So I had to shut down R and then try it again, and then do everything through the terminal with Jessica's code of the git add all, and then git message all, and then git push all. I had to do everything in the terminal because my RStudio was just not happy with those big files.
Wow, okay. So that's new. Kyle, does that mean, do those commands mean much to you? Is that a workaround for you?
Control A won't be helpful because you're just selecting things. I see Andrew's comment about saving file, but what file am I saving, right? Because you're not working on an R script. I did have the netify total file edited and saved there. And I think it did pick that up, but not all files are picked up, which is
Kyle,
kind of.
Do you have access to your terminal window inside RStudio? It's next to console.
Yeah, of course. Let's see. Well, no, it crashed.
It crashed.
It's a gray box.
What?
Oh,
you might need to restart. That might be too far gone for any of these approaches. But may I suggest the terminal window for selecting them all if the clicking the boxes doesn't work?
okay. Let me give that a try. It's crashed.
And I'll type the commands in again in the chat. I'm sorry, it's double posting, but
Thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you guys for working together. I would love to be more help, but I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna go looking for those strawberry files now. Okay, where is this?
Jessica, your code I tried, it doesn't work. It says fatal, unable to create certain file exists. It's index.log. Another Git process seems to be running, so that might be the issue. Let's see what's going on.
I mean, so you are navigated to the project in the terminal window? Did you like CD into your folder?
I think that's the one. I mean, I created a new repo.
Okay.
It's called a website. And what I'm seeing right now is documents website, which I think that's the one I cloned to. Let's see.
Well, if
Yeah,
nothing
it's all the files I'm
else,
seeing.
if nothing else, Git status should, if you're in the right repo and things are not not too bad. I feel like get status should get you something. Does that work?
I think so. Changes.
What does
to
it
be
say?
committed. On branch main, your branch stuff, okay. Changes to be committed, so there are a bunch of changes there. There are certain untracked files.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are in the repo and you are able to see that you both have tracked and untracked files.
Yeah.
Okay, well then you should be able to git commit without doing the git add all. Just like, I mean, whatever is being tracked, whatever's in green, you should be able to commit, even if it's partial, right? Maybe you'll do it in 2 batches.
Okay. Okay. So which line am I running in your script? The second line, or
Yep. Start with the second line. If there's files that are in green that have already been added, just go ahead and git commit -m and make up a message, just part 1 or something for the stuff inside the quotes. And I apologize, I have construction in
the
my
stop block thing is tripping me up. I don't know what that is. Let me see if I can delete that.
Sorry, what's tripping you up?
The in that stop block file keeps saying that that file exists, and then I'm unable to create that.
Well, this sounds like something we might need to take a look at afterwards, or stay on after the thing, after 11 o'clock, because it sounds like there's something else going on.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Sorry about
thank
that.
You. Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to link this Wowcome customization help guide in the chat right now, just if you guys want to play around with some of the things that it's suggesting that we do. But I did, Jessica, find the themes, like you said, they're in there. They're just nested to see what they are. Then once you're comfortable with what they are, you can go back and forth between them pretty easily in that params YAML file. Like I was showing you guys before, it's where did I get that? In files, configuration, and then _default params.yaml. There should be a line called theme, and it starts as like minimal, and I changed mine to strawberry. But if I show you guys here, these, if you can see this all at the bottom, it's in test, themes, github.com, Wowcome Hugo, Wowcome again, and then data, and then themes. So as Jessica was saying, it's very nested in there to find these, but there's these couple of themes here: coffee, earth, ocean, 1950s. So just a couple of pre-starting points that you could go from that might make your customization life a little bit easier. Oh, here's what they look like. The color schemes here. So I have strawberry on my personal website, but then I changed the color of the pink to millennial pink because people need to know. And then I was just looking here for how to just get rid of that silly demo strip at the top. So I'm just gonna look that up. Hugo demos. And it's the first thing on Stack Overflow. And as always, the people are being very friendly. Active in the old version, MD files, content home. So what we want to do is go into content files, the home file. It's a index maybe. Nope, that doesn't look right. Where is it? The demo.md. And then we just want to turn this active to false. Is everybody following me there? This might not work, but this is what I'm going to try to turn that big blue demo strip off at the top of the academic web page. This is what I'm gonna try to do and serve the site. Didn't work. Didn't work. Headless true. How do we turn this off? Anyways, I'm going to Google this and try to turn this off, but this is what we're gonna do to go through the rest of this workshop is if you have a question about how to change your headshot and you have one on your computer, I can find that for you. If you wanna walk through some of these files together, we can do that, but all through this, the whole next process is just getting yourselves comfortable with all these file systems that's happening that came up with this website and just turning things off, commenting things out, changing the content to be content that you actually want it to be. So these guys up here are called widgets, and there's a place that we can go and turn on and off these things. But obviously right here is where all of these different markdown files are coming to begin with. So if we show up to this publications one, we want this to be true because we'll eventually link all of our publications to this markdown file. So let me go back to, do we have questions in the chat right now? How do we change the URL again? Which part are you at? So you can change the URL. Heidi needs to be spelled true or just T. Are you talking about here? T? Oh, not on this one, on the demo one. It was undercase before, false, true. Okay, sorry. So in Netlify, you can, this is how it looks when you've just linked your account. You can go into site settings right here and then change site name. Jovial Kilby should actually be H Steiner netlify.app, just your name, whatever you want it to be. Oops, and I forgot to do a thing, but you want to copy this with https:// your user and the netlify.app. And then you come back into your files and it's, hold on, right in your website, it's the config.yaml. Config.yaml, it should be right on the outside, and then you can put that in, I think it's line 8 in the config.yaml in the base URL. Got that. And then Andrew, I'm seeing your comment and I'm going to try to serve that again. Did you get rid of the header? No. Oh, maybe I didn't save. Anybody? Did anybody get rid of the header? I'm sure it's the easiest thing. I just am totally blanking right now. Nope. That's weird. It's the same Stack Overflow, but this one's not helpful. Duh, there's a setting in each MD file that can be set to false. That's what I did.
Wait, so is this a widget? Or why are we in demo.md? Did I miss that?
I'm in demo.md because I'm trying to turn off this big blue demo thing.
Oh, that's a demo.
That's what they've called this chunk.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I was just trying to, I thought it was a widget, but I am wrong here because this isn't right. So activate this widget. We won't, I don't want to mess with that, but I was trying, did somebody else get this to work? But it's it should be fairly easy to go through and change which one of these things are showing by just setting them to true or false if you want them to display. This top thing is a little annoying. Okay, so something that I did do though, that you can also do what works for you in your content, and in authors, you can change this pretty easily in your admin. So if you go content, authors, admin, and open up that index, you'll want to change all of these things to be your personal information. And this is a pretty good point to get started. Obviously, you can change your bio and your courses, your email, and anything that you want to show up in your About Me is all written in this markdown file. And it's a regular markdown file, so you can use a markdown cheat sheet and put in our code and anything that you want in this file that will be hosted as your personal bio because it's in the authors section. So this is a good place to start with things, but I'm still going to try to get rid of that demo for us because that's definitely an annoying part of that website. Does that all make sense? Sorry if I'm being unclear here.
Hey, Heidi, we have a couple people here that are stuck trying to commit and push. I think Jay and Kyle need some help with that.
Okay. Yeah, that's the same issue again, how not all the files are going, Jay. And Kyle got pushed here, saying my terminal is blank, not sure why. Yeah, you guys very stuck. It's pushed. So Jay, can you help me with where you're stuck?
Yeah, right now I'm just, it's not letting me push, so I was able to get most of the files to commit. But now our studio just kind of froze, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe you're having the same problem that Austin was having before, that some of those files are massive and we've just created a pretty large project and maybe your computer's a little angry at us. If you can restart R and try again, I know that's a terrible answer, but and also if you can try the couple of command line tools that Jessica put in the chat.
Yeah, the command line actually worked for me. I committed and I pushed. So the difference is that I pushed to main but not master. That might be the reason why you couldn't push. Because if I look at my reps, right, there is no master. So of course it's going to complain that there's no master to push to. But I could push to main. Yeah, could push to main. Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully that's not an issue later. I'm not sure why they changed it to main at some point. Okay, good to know.
This was apparently like a social justice thing, like removing references to masters and slaves in computer science, I guess.
That makes sense. But I have a question, Heidi. So now I pushed it. It's on my GitHub account. It's in a separate repo, though it's not in my main repo. I don't see a website at all. I just see a bunch of files. So am I missing something, or is there a next step that I need to take?
Yeah, then there's the next step. You want to go to Netlify and hook your Netlify to this GitHub. So let me show you the slides again. So you have a Netlify account?
Yes, I do. I linked it up. Let me see. Okay.
And the next thing that you'll do is you'll want to from your Netlify account, find something that says new site from Git or continuous deployment or new site. This is what mine looks like, but I've hosted other websites before, so yours might be a little different.
See.
Okay. Does that all look right to you?
My internet is really slow, so I'm still waiting on the authorization. Let's see.
No worries, take your time.
Let's authorize only the website repo. Let's see if that's gonna work. And then nothing happened. Interesting. Maybe it's just my internet. Let's see. Yeah, I chose GitHub. I chose the website repo that I just pushed through. So hopefully that was the correct choice.
Yeah, but nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
It didn't.
Sorry.
Is it saying that it's in production or building or anything, or just nothing? What do you mean?
Nothing. That pop-up closed by itself, and now I'm stuck at the create a new site page, which is the one you're showing me right now.
Okay, let me see what
Yeah,
happens.
that happened to me too. I had to do it again. I don't know. It popped up and then something happened. It went away and then nothing changed. And so I just did it again and eventually something happened.
I have an issue that I keep pressing enter too fast and it doesn't like that. So that could also be a problem. I'm not sure entirely, but if you could try it again, that would be great. And this Stack Overflow is still saying that this is the way to turn that header off. Did anybody else see anything fun or get that header turned off? Jay, I don't know the answer to that question because this is the only way that I've ever used GitHub is through my RStudio. So does somebody else know if you can be doing this all through? Oh yes, here. Andrew always knows. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, so basically, if I were to do this in the desktop, I just copy all the files from the directory that you've been working on, and then push that in the desktop
Commit and push, yeah.
app. So technically, it's possible.
Oh, I don't know why that's not working. I'm gonna figure that out and get back to you guys though. But yeah, that's besides troubleshooting and sitting and workshopping through different widgets and creating content, this is all of the content that I have for you to actually get this website on off the ground. So you have everything you need here to. You've hosted a website. It's going to be continuously deploying every time you commit and push to your GitHub. So you're good to go. You just have a lot of time and energy now into creating content for this website and customizing to make it user experience for you. Feel free to stay on here as long as you want. And I'm going to keep Googling some stuff and I'm going to keep trying to get rid of that demo widget at the top of the screen. But other than that, that is all the content that I have for you. And thank you guys so much for being here today. And I'm sorry that we had so many GitHub issues, but I think that was to be expected. Where can I add?
So Heidi, I have a question. So how long does the deploying take? Because it's taking some time now. Not sure that's normal.
Yeah, the first one maybe took maybe a minute for me. Yeah, not a lot longer. Some of them can think for a while for sure. Maybe if you refresh your page or something, it popped up, but yeah, it shouldn't take that long. Feeling a little nervous about that result, Kyle.
I'm refreshing. Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every tutorial that I'm seeing you guys for turning off that widget is just to set active equals false. Did anybody get?
Maybe this is another thing with the new academic or starter academic or something, like it's just different now.
Yeah, that could very much be true, that we have a bug here that we need to work out, and I could be totally wrong that the documentation is as good for this package, but yeah, I agree with you that something is a little bit fishy here, because it pushed. It's all the first time that I set up my website, this was all very straightforward, and it was just as this, turning things off and commenting out, and it should be that easy. So I'm gonna try making sure that this is the Wowchemy one. Chemy academic widget. This one says you can use widget equals blank or delete the whole thing. I don't feel super comfortable deleting the whole thing, so I'll try widget equals, oh, it already says widget equals blank, right? Oh, but it's not in quotes. That doesn't seem like it's going to do anything.
Well, we also don't have widget equals, right? Like mine has widget colon space.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between an RMD and an MD. Because mine's the same, mine's also widget colon. I mean, we can try equals and see what happens if we break something there, but I think that's the difference between a file type. I don't want to break the site. I don't want to change too much. Oh, so that broke it, changing it to an equal sign, Jessica. Well, I'm pretty bummed about that.
Hi, Heidi.
What's up?
There's a comment.
Oh, sorry.
Someone got an error. Build.command failed. Have you seen that before?
Where did you get that, Jay? In R, obviously, but when you tried to like serve the site, or is this in
Yeah,
Netlify?
that's from Netlify. Yeah, I got everything pushed to GitHub and then connected Netlify and GitHub and then was trying to deploy and then it gave me build command failed.
Did you? Were you the one that named your thing main? Was it an issue with maybe that it was trying to find a master file instead of a main file?
Oh, I might have that problem. Yeah.
It could be, but yeah, I've failed a production of a website many times, so it could be a number of issues, and it could just be still a Git issue, but it could just also be something that we've messed up in these files along the way also.
Okay. Yeah, my branch is called main. So should I change that? Was that a problem for other people? Or should it be?
No, main is good.
Okay.
That's good.
Cool.
But was Netlify looking for something called master, or I'm just trying to think of what other issue we might have.
It says module starter academic not found.
But you ran the line that said new site, and when you ran the new site line, it like popped up with the site, right? So here's what mine looks like at the new site, and it says trying URL. Trying URL, and then sometimes it'll say like couldn't reach that. I mean, did yours seem to get past that point?
I may not have actually run the new site code for that because I started over to get through my GitHub issues.
Right.
So that
Okay.
may be the issue. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Maybe. You guys, look at this. I deleted the whole markdown and it's still here. It's still here. This is our website now. What's always going to be a Hugo academic starter. We're going to have to just try a whole different yeah, like a whole different theme if this is just not going to work. That can't be. That can't be. They couldn't have ruined this for everyone. Hmm. Not just me, huh? Nobody? Okay. Bye. Thanks for coming. Blake, nothing disappears on the internet. Yeah. I don't know what that other comment is, Blake, no module, but you're right. Nothing disappears on the internet and it's here for life now, whatever this.
Yeah, I think
demo-
the internet archive might have already archived it.
it wants it there. So
You're famous forever, Heidi.
can't wait. This sounds like a blast.
You had me rolling in my seat when you said they need to know about the millennial pink.
They need to know.
You got me good on that. The module thing, like I think he was reading his error, and usually when it says, like in Python anyway, they call them modules or libraries in R. And so I think he had said there was no module or something. That's what I meant by that.
Oh, I see.
And sometimes when you restart R, like it's not super good about like giving you all of the dependencies you need back.
Right, that you had just loaded. So
Yeah, but it's been a little while since I've done R stuff that isn't ggplot. So
yeah, this is all fun and games. If you do it on one computer a bunch of times, you can be as ready as whatever. And then you bring the fact that everybody has their own computer into the workshop, and it got a little messier than I was expecting.
yeah, I call it the genetic variability of computation. Everyone has so many different, like, well, there's just every computer is a complete snowflake.
Yeah.
As far as environments go. Yeah.
Right.
That's also, I mean, I think that's one of the best things you can do for any workshop is to show people how you like troubleshoot, and that none of us do this. Like, it's not magic,
Easily.
you know, like
Yeah.
everyone Googles, right?
Oh my God, did I do it? I think I might have done it. Hold on. Don't anybody get too excited yet. Did I do it? No, I've definitely run all the code, but I'm getting the same error. And this error the error you're getting is build.command failed in Netlify. Correct?
Yeah, it can't find the academic thing.
And you got everything to run like concurrently. You like started over and ran the new site, and then created the Netlify toml and added everything you needed to the toml, and then commit, and then push, and then popped onto your Netlify, and you're still having this issue?
Yes, yeah, I got it. Everything's up, pushed on GitHub, and linked to Netlify, and Netlify is giving me this error. Yeah.
Okay, we just have a couple minutes left here, but do you want to try and share your screen? Do you want to try and see if we can work on this? Bye, Kyle. I'm happy to try to help, but as you can see, I'm not like the most help in the world. But Blake Joyce is here, who might be happy to be a little bit more help. Do you feel comfortable sharing your screen?
Yeah, I would, but I'm actually on a different machine.
Yeah, no worries.
So, yeah, I
I
can't.
think we can definitely find you other help at ResBaz of people who are going to be better at getting Git and R functioning together. But I'm going to assume that that's what the issue was, just because there are so many Git issues in general. I would think that that's where the issue is occurring. Because for me, I have the only time Netlify fails to deploy, it's called like a production build, not like the same issue. It seems to me like something's missing from your GitHub. The actual WowCammy site is missing, and I'm not entirely sure why that would be. Are you on the GitHub Slack?
I'm on
sorry, on the ResBaz Slack?
Yeah, I'm on the ResBaz Slack.
Okay, well, I'll shoot you a message, and then I'll tag some other people and see if we can figure out how to get a group conversation going about how to fix that issue. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming, and I'm sorry I couldn't help more than that. I'm just writing your name down here, and then I'll shoot you a message in the Slack in just a minute when we're done here. And thanks to everybody who's got to head out and stuff. Thank you so much for sticking around and for being here. And I hope you got something useful out of this, at least that you have these same reproducible steps that they do create a website if everything is running smoothly. These steps work. And hold on 1 second. I'll see if I did end up removing that widget. Demo remove. It's one more thing. Did I do it? Preview deploy. Woo, we did it. Okay, so what did I do to remove that is I'm in Hero MD, which is in content, home, and then it's one of these markdown files, and I set the weight equal to 0, so it just doesn't have anywhere to show up, I guess.
Do you mind sharing your screen, Heidi?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot it wasn't. Yep. Okay, so if I'm in my website folder down here, and it's in content, and where did I just say it was? Data and content. Oh my God. I'm in Hero MD, so I'm in content, home. Oh, content, home, and then the Hero markdown. Just open that up, and at the top of it, it has what size it is, and that's called weight. It's at line 4, and it used to be size 10, and I just set it to 0 here, and then pushed that change. But likely you can just delete this altogether also. You should be able to set the widgets to active and inactive, or true or false. And I'm not entirely sure why that's not working right now. But potentially it'll work for other widgets. It's just like this one was overriding for some reason, maybe because it was in multiple places. Does that, let me know if that doesn't work for you, but I'm hoping that that at least gets it to look more like a website for everybody at this point. Yeah, so then I'll just show you mine here. There's a lot you can do to this, but I've turned off a bunch of the widgets at the, oh, I'm not sharing this, am I? I'll show you my website here. I turned off a bunch of the widgets, so I only have a couple of things. I have a blog, I have my papers, and I have my CV being posted here. And then what else is fun about this? And pretty much the only other thing is just this little logo up here. That's kind of fun to change to, and change it from the little Hugo H to whatever you want it to be. So then you can just have a website that's like a scroll down, or you can pop over and just like view the publications here. And I have these linked to other things. So I am going to be available through all of the sites that I linked to you guys already. You can email me, you can catch me on Slack, anywhere. If you have any more questions, I'm happy to work through things together, as long as they're not GitHub issues, because I don't know what's going on. And Andrew, like, I totally agree with you that is the normal syntax, but I tried it in capitals and that didn't seem to work either. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but yeah, but do test things, right? Give it a try and serve the site, and give it a try and commit the changes, and just play around with it. And as is all the rest of coding, it's a lot of Googling and figuring out where you want to go next.
Yeah, and to build upon Andrew's point, that would be the case if we were working in R, but like these R Markdown, playing with some of these other tutorials for websites, it seems like they all render as HTML. So you're like blending Markdown language, HTML, and CSS like all together. So it's a lot of moving pieces to keep track of.
It really is. It really is. Thank you. Thanks for being here, Austin and Bradley, for helping and just being calm.
Yeah, sorry, since Bradley and I were both kind of learners during this, we were kind of
No worries.
trying to troubleshoot along with you with some of this and
Did you
turning to
get a
Google.
website up and running?
I got a website up and running. Yes, it's going to take a lot of time to go through. There's so many files with this, and
Yeah.
everything seems hidden deep down and through all the directories. So it's just going to take some time to get used to. But
Yeah.
at least, yeah, there's a website, and it's at least a jumping off point to start building it out. So that's good. And
Yeah,
thank you
I'll
for
have
the
to do
introduction.
a better job about the second half of this workshop at another time, but like understanding the file structure and how to just easily create a new post. There is an add-in for easily creating a new content and things, so that should be pretty straightforward when you get to it. But for now, the route I would take is to just open up all the files that you know you want to keep, and change them to your content, and you'll get a little bit closer to where you want to be, and then you can start turning off the things that you don't want, and then you'll be almost there by that time. And then if you have further questions and comments and concerns about personalizing stuff, just yeah, come through and ask me some questions, and hopefully we can work together and get some cool visual resumes at the U of A.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and I see, Andrew, your comment in the chat about GitHub pages. I've done that too. So I'm on like my 4th personal web page because I keep trying to different tutorials to see if one will stick. So yeah, there's so much out there. GitHub pages is pretty slick as well, especially if you're comfortable working in HTML.
Yeah, I went through, I would agree, maybe 15 tutorials before I found one that actually hosted a website that worked. And I was like, oh, I better save all this, because that works for me. Because it took a long time, and you can host it through GitHub, or host it through Netlify, host it through statically. You can host it a bunch of different ways, and then use any theme in the world. You can use Jekyll, you can use Hugo, you can do it yourself, you can build it. So yeah, there's a million ways to do this process, and these 10 steps are a pretty quick and dirty way to just get something off the ground if you need just a quick scroll through type website.
Great. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.
Cool, yo, we made it.